This is not an episode about my issues, Ben.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
This is an episode about...
The next episode is how to fix Jackie.
No, that would be like a whole new
I
podcast.
would be a whole new podcast.
100-part series.
Oh my God.
Okay, really exciting. We're having so much fun. And I'm loving Ben as the new co-host. So we miss Bex.
I love that you're loving me.
I love that we love each other.
I know. Oh, I never use that word towards you, but I like you a lot. Just kidding.
Ball pythons, because they're non-venomous and they're pretty docile. That word's hard.
You can't own a python? I thought you could.
No. These are ones that are most commonly owned in the United States.
Oh gosh. I'm not paying attention. I feel like my Instagram algorithm is all animals, men, drag queens, and depressive humor.
Yeah, we have the same algorithm. They hibernate. So, like, what do you do with your bear for that time?
Well, if you have a basement, I'm assuming it would probably just be in the basement.
You cannot put your bear in the basement. That is
it's like a cave. Like, it would hibernate in your basement.
You can't
What if you have birds that prey?
I can't think of any of them that can get into this position.
I mean, have you seen their wings? I feel like
birds can't do this. They could go touch from the back, right? Hey, all of our wise owls and cool cats out there. Welcome to another week of We're Experts Now. I am your co-host, Jackie, and this is...
I'm Ben. Good morning out there to people. Those owls and owlets.
Good evening, good night.
Ooh. Yeah, look at that.
All day.
We're like real
I do
radio
love owls.
People.
Owls are one of my favorite animals.
Yeah, I love that. I enjoy a good owl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love the great horned owls. You know, I've been good.
Ben.
Things have been wonderful. Aside from all the rain that we've been getting, I'm a little over it.
I feel like there's something we're celebrating, which is little Benny Boop Boop did get into grad school. Congratulations.
I love being a nerd. I'm so excited.
Me too. I love that for us. I think this is our time to shine, Ben. This is our Renaissance era, and you're going to go to grad school. I'm going to start my side business.
Yes.
After my other side business, which is the podcast, and we're gonna live our best lives.
I love that. I love that.
What are you gonna study?
What am I studying? I am studying anthropology, and I want to be able to understand people to make better design choices. I think. I'm into design too, and I love getting to know people.
And throwback to season 1 episode where Ben was our guest talking about UX design. So we're just like building off of that. We'll have to do like a part 2 episode where you like talk about all the anthropology stuff that you have learned and how it applies to kind of the first episode and all of that. And huge shout out to Benny Boop Boop Boopity Boop, because he did make our new logo, which you should all be seeing out there at this point, which has an owl in it, which really ties back.
I know. I love it. Listeners, I really hope you like the logo. I love to get your opinions on it. Yeah, I love it. I hope you love it. I hope
you all love it. It's so cute. It's so fun. Rebecca and I were not designers, so like the first edition is really absolutely, sorry.
You trying?
Sorry.
I love that we're both kind of distracted.
Well, no, and I will be like totally honest to the listeners on what I was just doing. I recently signed up for CASA, and that is a court-appointed special advocate, and I am meeting my CASA kid for the first time today. So they were just confirming that I was going to be there, and I'm really excited. But
I know that is also worth celebrating. So that is awesome. Congratulations.
That is our celebratory weekend. So yes, and what's really awesome is as we're recording this, we are 5 days away from our season 2 launch. So we
Mhm.
are recording this, but we haven't launched yet. You're going to see a few episodes come out. It's going to be really exciting. We're having so much fun. And I'm loving Ben as the new co-host. So we miss
I love that
Bex.
you're loving me.
I love, I love that we
I'm
love
sorry.
each other.
I know. Oh, I never use that word towards you, but I like you a lot. Just kidding.
I cannot, Ben. You're so mean.
No,
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. And it's going to be an exciting journey. So yeah, keep
Mhm.
listening, keep checking out. This is going to be our new vibe. And yeah, Ben's going to be in school. I'm going to be CASAing, and we're just going to be
Mhm.
making the world a better place every day.
Trying to. I'm
Yeah.
trying to. Oh, I got to start making my life a better place for me to live in,
Mhm.
and then I can
Oh,
make the world a better place.
also, we always forget to do this, but like,
Mm.
if you like the show, folks, subscribe, like, comment, recommend to your
Mhm.
friends. We really
Mhm.
want to keep this podcast going, and we really want to grow our
Yes.
listener base. And,
Mhm.
we're doing this for all of you, but we want to just see more and more of you. So if you like us, tell your friends, or leave a comment and just say hello. We'd love to hear your feedback. And you can always email us at we'reexpertspod@gmail.com. And
Gmail.
yeah, we love Gmail. Gmail?
I think it's Gmail.
I know it's Gmail.
I don't
I
like
know it's
Gmail.
Gmail. Gmail at the
But
Gmails.
I think we're also open to ideas. What do you want to know how to do? What do you want to learn about? And so
Yeah.
we are open to that.
Do you like this new format? Right? Like, do you want us to go back to having more guests? We're gonna do a guest episode shortly. But like, what is it that you like? You want to hear? You want to see? Um, you
Should I
know,
be a
do you?
woman?
I was gonna ask, do we go back to Bex? It's not an option, folks. So we have Ben now, and Ben
Yeah,
can pretend to be Bex if we try
I
hard enough.
could. I mean, I would be terrible at it, but I have long hair. I paint my nails sometimes. So as far as women go, I am a hideous one.
Yeah, yeah. But you are a beautiful man, and we love that.
Thanks. I love that. Thanks.
It's so
Thanks.
pretty.
My hair is
Okay,
unbrushed. Just living my life. It's
my
Saturday.
hair is very brushed,
I
but we have
know.
very
You
different
always put
hair.
yourself together.
Well, we
Um,
talked about this. Like, I look like
I
a
know.
troll the rest of the time, but
Right, right,
like
right.
after like editing a few episodes where I didn't put makeup on, I was like, oh my god.
I know. Maybe actually, this is an honest time. I have not gone back and looked at any of the stuff that you sent me because I'm
I
nervous
know.
to watch myself.
I can see if anyone's watched, and I know that you haven't.
That's rude. Well then.
You don't have to. Like, that's totally up to you. Honestly,
Hmm.
you should watch it. Like, I will flat out say I think the content's pretty good. Like, it's not as cringy. Like, you will see a few things that you're like, "Oh, I need to stop doing that." I think it is good. I have learned and grown so much as a speaker and how I present myself while speaking by watching myself back so much and editing the videos. Um but you will okay, so you know what I used to say all the time? I used to be like, "Right?
Oh,
Right?
hmm.
Right?" Like, so
Hmm.
I think you'll notice things, but it's usually not as cringy as you think it's gonna be. And I think
Where can
we
I
have a good
find us?
repertoire. That we're experts now at gmail.com.
Oh, got it.
No, wait, wait, at YouTube.
That, oh, great. Okay, cool.
Wait, and it's we're
Cool.
experts pod at Gmail. Listen,
Oh,
listen, I
wow.
don't know anything, folks. Also, we still need to write a commercial. That was the last thing I forgot.
Oh, I'll
Okay.
add that to the list too.
Okay. Anyways, what is this episode about, you ask, Ben? This episode
Wait,
is
wait. I want to
about.
ask it. I want to ask it. Jackie, what's this episode about?
Great question, Ben. I'm glad that you asked. Today,
Thanks. Me
we're
too.
going to be talking. We're going to be talking about owning exotic animals. And
Oh
I
my God, I'm
do.
obsessed.
I know, right? And I do want to say, first and foremost, I do not agree with owning exotic animals for personal, just like preference, and people that are like, just like, oh, I bought this on the black market and now I have a tiger. Like, right? Like, I don't encourage or recommend that. I do actually think that's pretty morally wrong.
Sure.
But
And
there are,
dangerous.
yeah, but I do think it's an interesting topic. I love animals. I love all types of
Same.
animals. I would own an animal, honestly, an exotic animal, if I did not find it so morally wrong.
What
And
animal would you own?
I think any kind of big cat. I would love a big
Mm,
cat. Like, I love little fluffy meow meows.
mhm.
I think maybe not like a tiger or anything like that big, but like maybe like a medium-sized cat, right?
Like a medium tiger? Mhm.
Like a cougar or something like that, right? Like something that's like
Oh, that's your idea of a medium-sized cat?
well, yeah, for like a wild animal, yeah,
Oh,
that's
sure, sure.
like I also I don't know, I like there's a lot of just like what were they called? Coatis in Costa Rica.
Oh,
Those things
yeah,
were so stupid cute. I would want one of those. There's a lot of animals. Yeah, I would.
totally.
Would you get
I'm
what
with you. I
exotic
mean,
animal would
ever
you?
since my dog's name was Foxy, and ever since her, I've been obsessed with foxes. So I would love a pet fox. I think would be
Mhm,
wonderful.
mhm,
But I'm with you too. I mean, I like a lot of big cats. I love snow leopards. I think having a snow
mhm.
leopard to cuddle with would be amazing.
You'd need snow
Um,
though, Ben, and you live in Sacramento.
people own huskies here, and so
My ex-boyfriend did, and I did not approve.
I know, like, why would you bring like a furry covered yeah,
I
covered.
would say he did keep the house 60 degrees year round for that dog,
Well,
and I
that
was
sounds
like, I'm
terrible. Never mind.
freezing. Yeah. Anyways,
Never
okay.
mind.
So
All right, let's jump in. I'm interested to know about this.
yeah, and it's like it's essential if you're talking about owning exotic animals that if you were ever thinking of doing this, do a lot of research. This is actually
Sure.
how I got on this subject. Funny story, not so funny story. At the same or like around the same time, I was like looking into what it's like to become a foster parent, and then I was also looking at what how to own an owl. And let me
Oh,
tell you, it is harder to own an owl in this state than it is to get a foster child, which is a little bit
interesting.
terrifying. So,
Sure. Yeah.
um, I just want to throw that out there. And then you also have to like always consider the animal's welfare, whether it's private ownership, whether it's a zoo, whether you're doing it for rehabilitation, whatever that reason is. Like the animal's welfare is like the most important. Like animals are not here to serve us. Um, I just think that like using animals in that way is just really cruel. Now, I think there are some exceptions to this, right? Like I think there are a lot of rehabilitation places that are really great. Like animals are hurt, found in the wild, or they were domesticated and they can't be returned to the wild because somebody messed the animal up, right? So there's lots of good reasons to have animals. But I think do your research, maybe go to school, make sure you have vets or whatever it may be to really
Yeah.
take these sweet little babies.
Although I have to
Um,
say, like there are some animals that I feel like are bred to help and serve us, like horses.
Yes, I'm talking exotic animals. I'm talking
Oh,
about
exotic
like
animals. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah.
makes sense.
Like
That's what
I'm
the
not
whole point
talking
is.
domestic. Yeah, like I have cats, right? Like I think it's fine to have dogs, like horses. Like I
Hmm.
think there's plenty of animals that like
Yes. Okay.
it's not problematic, right? That's also like thousands of years of training them to be domesticated,
Hmm.
whether that was not right for them naturally or not, whatever. Well, here we are, but animals that are wild animals that don't have like any perks of being domesticated should be in the wild.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I forgot the
Okay.
name of this episode.
You're like, we just have animals.
I'm gonna
Not
underline exotic.
mhm. Okay. So in the United States, some of these actually blew my mind. Some of the most commonly owned exotic animals. We got sugar gliders, which is those little
So
guys. Have you
cute. I
seen them?
love
Yeah,
them.
they're
Yeah,
so
they're so
little
cute.
precious little babies.
Yeah.
Um, hedgehogs. I
Hedgehogs are
was kind of,
considered exotic?
I guess, yeah,
I think
and
they're so cute.
I think they're. I would totally get a hedgehog out of all
I
of
know.
these. Like that's
They're so
probably
cute.
one.
I mean, a
The
sugar
next one
glider
is
is also pretty cute.
they are also very cute. A little baby.
I know.
Ball pythons, because they're non-venomous and they're pretty
I thought
docile. That
well,
word's
what
hard
kind
for me.
you can't own a python? I thought you could.
No, no, no. These are ones that are most commonly owned in the United States.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not paying attention.
So sugar gliders, ball pythons, hedge. I was surprised that hedgehogs were that commonly owned. Is actually what I was surprised by. Um, this is for Benny. We got the fennec fox.
Oh my god, they're so I think it's pronounced fennec.
What did I say?
Finnick.
Fen- uh, Fennec?
Isn't it Fennec? Fennec.
Yeah, Fennec.
You said Finnick.
I do not hear the difference between what I'm saying and what you're saying.
What do animals in the sea have on their backs?
I think it's because I'm nasally right now.
Sure.
I think
Okay.
I'm trying to say it the right way, but I think I'm just nasally.
Yep.
Or I just can't. I have issues. Okay.
Okay.
The next one is this is not an episode about my issues, Ben.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
This is an episode about
The next episode is how to fix Jackie.
no, that would be like a whole new
That'd be
podcast, like
I would
just
be
like
a whole
a
new podcast.
100-part series.
Oh my god.
Okay, Savannah cats, which I know people who
Oh,
have
so
owned
cute.
Savannah cats. I
Yeah, I
would
love them.
totally own a Savannah cat.
Same.
Chinchillas. I've had roommates that had chinchillas, so I've technically lived in a chinchilla house before.
I like
They're
chinchillas.
super
They're cute
cute.
too. They bathe in dust.
Yeah, they
Love that.
are precious little babies.
I didn't know
Serval
these were
cats.
considered exotic cats. I like serval cats too. Oh my god, I would own
What are you
all
talking
these.
about? You didn't know that a Savannah cat was exotic?
No, I guess I think because like when I think of exotic, I think of like tigers and like animals that are illegal to have.
Savannah cats? Okay, no. This is the okay, we will get there, Ben. We are
Okay,
talking about the ones that
sorry.
people actually own in the US.
Got
We
it.
will get to
Okay.
illegal shit, okay?
Got it. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna say this one wrong and go ahead and
Yep.
correct.
I
Capuchin?
will.
Is it that?
That's
Capuchin
right.
monkeys?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are commonly owned. I cannot say this one, but let's go. Kinkajous? Kinkajaus? Honey bears? Kinkajou.
Kangaroos.
No, honey bears. It's
Honey.
Kinkajous, also known as honey bears. Kinkajous.
Yeah, kinkajou.
Kinkajous?
I think it's a kinkajou.
That sounds weird.
Kinkajou.
And then a sulcata
Gesundheit. Sorry.
sulcata tortoise is the last one that is also commonly owned in the United
Interesting.
States.
Okay. I would
Mhm.
have 75% of these.
Yes, I think most people would. That's why they're the most commonly owned in the United States.
Cool. That makes sense.
And like I'm assuming that probably like changes like country to country, right? Like I know some countries find certain animals illegal
Hmm.
and not, right? Like for example, ferrets are illegal in some states in the United States and not in others. Like I think
Interesting.
they're legal in Oregon but not in California. So like
Oh,
I like knew a guy who had a ferret and he like got it
yeah.
in Oregon. So
Yeah. Ferrets are cute. I don't like, are they considered rodents?
mhm.
Yeah. I mean, they're cute, but I
100%.
don't think I would own a ferret. I know I follow, and I don't follow them to be honest, but like on my algorithm on Instagram, I get a lot of videos of people who own like foxes, but they're all like in Russia or like Eastern Europe for the most part.
I follow people with like raccoons, with hedgehogs. I
Hmm.
follow a lot of people with animals now that we're talking
I
about
mean,
it. I just
right?
love little
I feel like
babies.
my Instagram algorithm is all animals, men, drag queens, and depressive humor.
Yeah, we have the same algorithm.
Love it. We're the same person.
Okay. We are the same person. Okay, so illegal animals. This is what
Okay.
Ben's mind has been going to this entire time.
I know. This is what
Um,
I keep thinking of. Common
so
illegal animals.
yes.
Okay.
Big cats, so lions, tigers, leopards, any other
Hmm.
large wild cats.
Hmm.
Most of these animals are you'll hear it kind of repeated a bunch. It's like a safety risk,
Sure.
either to the general public or to the owner or both. And then most of them require really like specialized care, whether that be like medications, knowing how to properly care for them, or just the
Hmm.
danger in caring for them
Yeah.
themselves. Um, so that is like one of the biggest ones. The next one, and I had never heard this, is exotic felids, which I didn't know what a felid was before, but this is cheetahs, cougars, and servals. So I think it's
Oh,
like,
like smaller big cats.
yeah, because like my cat is a feline, right? So maybe it's like a different like genus
I think it's
species type
pronounced
of thing.
feline.
I don't want to play this game with you the entire episode.
I just think it's funny.
I think I'm just really congested and I'm hearing
Okay.
things right in my head, but I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it's coming out right.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'll circle back in another episode.
Well, no, what will happen is when I'll listen to it when I'm editing
Oh,
it, I'll
got
be
it.
able to
Okay.
hear the difference. But I
Sure.
guarantee I think I'm hearing it in my head right, but I don't think I'm actually saying things right because like I've been congested for like this is like I'm going on week 3 now.
Mm.
So, it's I just got destroyed. So,
All right. We'll go with that.
again, these animals, public safety risks, hard to keep them in captivity. Don't recommend
Hmm.
to do it.
Hmm.
The next kind of group is non-human primates. I'm assuming that this is
I love that that's labeled that. Sorry, that's
they're like humans are allowed to you're allowed to keep in
non-human
cages, but
primates. Okay.
we have like I would say like this is like the monkeys, probably gorilla. I don't know if gorillas are primates. Are they in the primate family?
Yes.
Okay. So like all of
Wait,
that
that
good
is a
stuff.
different. Oh no, that's all under non-human primates.
Yeah.
This
And
is
so like
like
again,
that's bizarre to me. That is so bizarre to me that like that category is non-human primates as illegal. But I feel like isn't it also illegal to have a human as a pet? And we're considered primates. So why wouldn't primate just
well,
be?
I technically how do you phrase this? Because some people are really into like puppy play and stuff.
Yeah, I
And
get it.
so
I try it, but like it's not like a
so
real
that is
thing.
that's keeping someone as a human pet.
But not
I think
indefinitely.
I think as long as the human is consenting, then it
It has
is
to be
fine.
okay. So what this should be, uh, non-consensual primates is what
Well,
it should be.
no, because primates can't consent to an abstract theory that they don't understand.
What about like a sign language thing?
No, but they don't understand what imprisonment is. Like, so they can't
Hmm.
consent to it because they don't understand that. But I
Have you ever
can tell
seen
you when you
Planet of
look
the
at
Apes?
but that
That is a documentary.
it's not a documentary. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so non-human primates. And then this one's interesting because I think it has a bigger risk because of the like biological aspect. Okay. Because they are so close to humans, it is creates a risk of being diseases passed back and forth, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Like COVID, like my cats were able to get COVID. So like certain
Oh,
illnesses, certain species, it is a higher risk. And I assume with non-human
mhm.
primates, it has that same thing.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
bears, again,
Safety.
seems like a bad idea.
Hmm.
Um, also, like they hibernate. So, like, what do you do with your bear for that time?
Well, if you have a basement, I'm assuming it would probably
No,
just be
you
in the
cannot
basement.
put your bear in the basement. That
If
is like,
it's like a cave, like it would hibernate in your basement.
I want to fucking hibernate so bad.
That'd
Okay,
be that sounds
wolves and
terrible.
wolves hybrids.
Oh, I
Oh
would
boy.
have a wolf. I love them. They're like
Yeah,
big
you're not supposed
doggies.
to because again,
Right.
safety risk.
Yep, but they're cute.
And they need to be in a pack, right? They need
Well,
their
that's what like
buddies.
humans are your pack. Like that's what you say about having a dog. Like your dog
No,
should,
it's not the same thing for wolves.
but your dog should technically sleep in the same room as you because it's considers itself a part of your pack. And like pack animals,
Yeah,
like
that's fine. Dogs are domesticated. A wolf like needs to go run and like howl at the moon. And you're not going
I
to do that,
mean,
Ben.
I would
Okay.
100% go run and help them in.
Okay, I can't do this with you today. Okay. Okay. Next one is venomous snakes. Venomous.
Venomous steaks. Steaks.
Well, actually, I'm sure that venom steaks are also illegal, but venomous snakes.
Um, I have such I hate snakes and I hate spiders, but I have such a big infatuation with watching snakes and spiders like on social media.
Gross.
I know,
I don't
but
want to
like
talk
it's
about
so
it
weird.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, don't have venom snakes. They're not good for you. They like also like what the fuck are you doing with your venom snake that you need that? Okay.
It's like a I bet you it's like a
Uh,
badass type of thing. Like come over here, look at my rattlesnake.
this next one is definitely this next one is definitely prejudice against Florida. In Florida, men
Alligators.
alligators and crocodiles they are not allowed to have. And let me tell you, Like when I was like in the second grade, they took us to this like alligator place in Florida, and it was
Mhm.
like all these alligators, and this like dude in like jorts, just like jumped the alligator fence and just like started like wrestling alligators, and like it was like totally like just like
Did he
his job.
work
And
there? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. That was like his job. Like he just like he was like the
Wrestled
alligator
alligators.
wrestler, and like when kids came in,
Wrestler.
he would, yeah, like he would wrestle him.
Oh
And
my god, your words today.
oh, I'm saying wrestle totally wrong on purpose.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay.
That one I knew.
Got
The
it.
problem is just some things I say wrong on purpose, and sometimes I can't hear it.
Now I just think you're an idiot.
Okay. So we can't have birds of prey. We can't have an eagle. You can't have a
Okay, yep.
hawk. You can't have a falcon. You can't have any of those things. And we're going to touch on this a little bit later.
Mhm.
You
What if
can
you have
have
birds
some.
that prey?
I can't think of any of them that can get into this position.
I mean, have you seen their wings? I feel like they
Birds can't
bend.
do this. They could
I
go
don't
like
know.
touch from the back, right? They can touch back here,
Are
like
you just trying to
that,
show
but
off your
they're not. They
boobs?
can't get into this position.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna knock it until I see it. Like it's a
Okay, but sometimes
ghost.
you can have these with permits and licenses in certain states.
I love that you just interrupt me when I'm trying to talk. Sometimes they have permits. No, sometimes you need permits to own them. Got it.
In certain states, yeah.
In certain states.
So
Are they
what's
all the
interesting?
red states?
Yeah, certainly. See, wait. Okay, wait. You know what's interesting is they have primates on here.
Non-human primates.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
they have primate on this list and non-human primate. And
Oh,
when I say
interesting.
they, I mean me and what I pulled from AI, but
Yeah. So
interesting.
they.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go, kids. AI is not entirely foolproof.
Okay. So I guess that they're saying, yeah, you can't own a human either.
That's what I was just trying to say. That's when they should have non-consensual
Non-consensual humans.
human.
Okay. Certain reptiles and amphibians.
Are we still on the common illegal ones?
This is the last one.
Certain reptiles and amphibians, like.
Oh, I'm gonna say some like weird. Most frogs are you're not supposed to have.
Yep, that makes sense.
Like
Most
venomous
frogs, like the
snakes.
poisonous. Okay, yep.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Mm-hmm.
venomous snakes earlier.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into a few examples of like specific regulations and rules to own certain things in the United States, right?
Okay,
So I wanted to do a compare and contrast. So we're gonna start with what does it take to owning an owl in California? Because this is kind of where I like started with this whole mission years ago and kind of what we were
sure.
talking about a minute ago. Um, so like most people, California, you cannot own an owl. You have to do like a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it comes from the Department of Fish and Wildlife. So
Hmm.
that's like if you want to do that stuff, you'd have to go talk to them. Um, and they basically regulate all like wildlife ownership. So even
Hmm.
like the owls and everything, but also like wildcats and everything else. They're going to work with the zoos. They're going to work with rehabilitation centers. They're going to work with
Hmm.
educational centers. So that's kind of their ball game.
Cool.
And then under certain individuals, under limited circumstances, are able to own owls and stuff, but it's highly regulated.
Got it.
So the first thing that you would have to get.
I don't think I'd ever have a pet bird.
So well, what's interesting right now and um something I've been working on for a while is um like crows are really, really smart. And crows can like identify human faces. And so for a really long time I've left peanuts out trying to get the crows to come eat my peanuts. And well, because okay, there's a reason to this, and I'll get there. So like
Okay.
I wanted the crows to come eat my peanuts and like recognize me, right? And so finally there was a crow out on like a roof the other day, and I like showed him or her the peanuts, and like where I put them, right? Because they're very smart. And so they
Mhm.
saw it and then they got all the peanuts that day. And then
Mhm.
they didn't come back for a few days. And then they saw me again and they put the peanuts out. And then I went on vacation and my mom started putting the peanuts out, right? So this is like good in my favor.
Mhm.
So then yesterday, I saw some of them eating the peanuts over in the parking lot. And then I was
Mhm.
like waving at them. And then I like went up and all my peanuts were gone. And so I put more peanuts out there. So I have also put a cache of like shiny things next to the peanuts because they like shiny things. And what they'll do is if you continue to give them gifts, they will start to bring you gifts. And so theoretically, I'm trying to train these crows to bring me shiny things by giving them peanuts.
I really feel like you should get laid.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but like in the meantime, I'm working on my crow babies. The problem is my cats really
Eat the
don't like the crow.
crows.
They really don't like, and there's definitely like a kind of like an issue happening. I don't know. I
Yeah,
keep telling the bean that like he's got to be nice to our crow friends because I'm a witch and they're my familiars. Like everyone
sure.
can we can all be familiars. So, anyways.
I have a funny joke about the crows that I haven't told anyone yet, but it's been in my head that I want to share.
Okay, well, it better be good after that intro.
All right, great. So I'm driving home and I see this like a shit ton of crows all in this field. And then I get home, I'm like, babe, there was a giant murder on the street.
So dumb. Just so- I do love crows, right? So I am trying to have my own murder. I am trying to get a
Love it.
murder.
Great.
Okay. I want a murder for
Only
shiny
only
things.
murders in this building.
It's like I'm a hitman because I just want a murder for shiny things.
But have you
Yes.
seen the show though? Only murders in this
No,
building.
no.
Oh, but it should be done with a bunch of crows.
Just remake the show as like all crows.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
An all crow cast. That if this podcast doesn't work out, look out for Ben's. I almost called you Bex. Ben's and I's next adventure, which is a spoof of All Murderers in the Building with all crows, and it will be the
Yep.
crows from my balcony.
Be Martin Crow.
I can't. I
Who's
cannot. How did? Oh, you did it. You. How does it do these?
AI.
Yeah, but like, how does it? Like, why does it only do it?
Now you
I
look
can't.
dumb.
I've always looked dumb. So, okay.
No.
So, what is required? A falconry permit.
You
Falconry
need
permit.
to own an owl. You need a falconry point permit.
Yeah. So that involves hunting with trained birds. So, like, if you are a
Mm-hmm.
hunter and like you can sometimes get a falconry permit,
Ooh, okay.
and so you can obtain that permit with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife because again, this is just California. And
Mm-hmm.
this permit allows the possession and the use of owls and other birds of prey for hunting purposes under
That's
strict
cool.
regulations.
Did you ever have to dissect owl pellets when you were younger?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
No, I don't
Anyways.
like touching poop.
Okay. Is it poop? I thought it was like it was like a hairball.
No, it's their poop.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. Anyways,
Um, and I never dissected a frog. I've dropped out of that class before I had to do it.
we had to dissect a pig.
Ew, I would never.
I know.
Okay,
I don't. I yeah. Anyways, off topic.
so
Wait, can
what
you
you
own
can
a
also.
pig? You can own a pig legally.
Oh yeah, I have a
I'm
friend who
surprised
owns a
that
pig.
I don't. I'm surprised that's not in a common legal things to own.
Well, because that's not an exotic animal, that's a domesticated animal because
Oh
we
right.
use them
Okay.
in
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
farms and type stuff like that.
I keep getting confused. Okay.
Uh, okay, so the next permit that you can get is a rehabilitation permit. Again, this is from um, the Department of Fish and Wildlife for injured, sick, and orphan animals. I know there's like one in the Bay Area where like we found a hurt squirrel one time and my mom dropped it off there, and it was like an educational center, and like they basically take on the animals and then try to like release them once they're doing better. Um, these people cannot have owls as pets. They can only have them in the rehabilitation center though. Like, so they are not
Got it.
taking them home and hunting with them like the first group. They are more
Hmm.
like only doing that.
So try to
The
release
next
back into the wild or to a sanctuary.
Yeah, like or like keep them until like, like if it's an orphaned animal, right? And it can't ever live on its own, like that
Mhm.
happens sometimes. I think they keep them like in their sanctuary, right? Like
What if I had like an injured fox, like, and I just kept it? How would people know?
I think a lot of people do that, right? I think
Yeah,
it's legal. It's probably illegal, right? But like I think people
but how
just
would they
do
know?
it because
Oh,
right, like you're not buying an animal. I don't know. I don't really know how to I don't know how that would work.
I like take it for a walk, and people are like, "That's a
Mhm.
weird dog."
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so the next is an educational permit, kind of what I was just talking about, like places that are schools, nature centers, wildlife rehabilitation facilities. And they do this for education, and so they keep those animals basically in that way.
Mhm.
Then the last option is an exotic animal exhibitor permit, and this is going to
Mhm.
be like the zoos, wildlife sanctuaries, educational institutes, things like that.
Mhm.
So a few different ways that you can own an owl in California, um, but it does take quite a few steps.
Mhm. Cool.
So in Florida, you actually can own an owl as a pet. So it really depends on where you live, right? So, and I think that's like really important because like you kind of brought this up, like the red state versus blue state type of thing. Yeah, I think California is a very liberal state. We're talking about food in the last episode and how like we have access to food, we have access to wildlife. I think Florida has a lot more exotic animals just by nature of the area. Like they have cougars, they have servals, they have a lot of animals just out in the wild like that. So I think it probably, again, a less regulated state, more access to those animals. I think
And
it
aren't
just kind of
like now
changes.
pythons a more like invasive species in Florida because of that?
I think that happens a lot of the time, right? I don't know if that's actually true on Python specifically,
I think it
but
is. I must say. Oh, look at it. Okay,
hey,
yeah.
look at that one. So it's hard, right? It's like hard to kind of say what the rule of thumb is, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That's why a lot of animals are also illegal, like amphibians and reptiles and rodents. Like they don't
Mhm.
want parrots in California because we have like a lot of wildlife that they would kill, like
Right.
squirrels, chipmunks, that type of stuff.
All right,
So
so here it is. The Burmese python is a large non-venomous constrictor that is an invasive species in Florida. Burmese pythons are found primarily in and around the Everglades ecosystem in South Florida.
yeah,
So there you
like
go.
right. Okay, so the last example I wanted to kind of go through, which I think is a pretty
Sure.
common one, and this is like flashback to Tiger King, is owning a
Oh, that was the name of the
tiger or
show.
a hmm?
That was the name of the show. I couldn't remember it. It was a fun show.
Yeah, yeah, Tiger King. Owning a
Hire him?
tiger, no, Tiger
No.
King. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
it's the nasalness. Um, combined with my mumbling.
Yep.
Um, so owning a tiger or any other big cat privately as an individual in California is illegal, right? Like we're not recommending to do it. You shouldn't do it. Like Tiger King would have never been legal in California, right? Like he was in. I don't think he was in Florida, but I think the other chick in that show, like that was the girl that said like, "Hi, cool cats and kittens."
Hmm.
That was like his villain. I think she was in
Yep.
Florida, but he was like in like Kentucky or something like that in the South.
Hey.
So California only basically it's public safety concerned. We have some of the strictest laws owning. We have some of the strictest laws regulating exotic animal ownership here in the United States. So it's not
Oklahoma.
really Tacoma,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Mhm. Yes, and that's the South, right? I think that's still the South.
It's like Midwest. It's a flyover state.
Okay, so if you want to own a big cat in California, like here are some things to like consider, right? Prohibition on private ownership, so you're just not supposed to like have it. California Code of Regulations, Title 14, Section 671, really highlights what is allowed and what is not allowed in the large exotic fields, which says tigers and lions, leopards totally out in California. There are, like we kind of
Wait, did you
discussed,
say lemons or weapons?
leopards.
Got it.
Hate you so much.
I wasn't sure.
Okay. Next time I take like a Dayquil, and so my congestedness, I can hear myself in my folly. Okay. There are exemptions to this. Obviously, we've seen them in zoos. San Diego Zoo is huge, got a lot of beautiful wildlife, sanctuaries, education, research facilities. So there are places that you can have and house um, big cats in California, but let's be very clear, that is not like pet ownership. That
Sure.
is, right, like these are places that are for education or anything like that.
Mhm.
There's really strict enforcement in California. There is like a lot of regulation, and there's also a lot of places that like checking into it. Like I've heard of this
Mhm.
too. Like there's whole police forces on like exotic animal import in the United
Mhm.
States. That's a pretty big thing. California's a big port, especially if you're like thinking of animals that are going to come from like Southeast Asia. California's a
Mhm.
great place to come in for those places.
Yeah.
Um, exotic animal surrender programs. So like there is actually a lot of programs in California where you do have an exotic animal, maybe like you're the Mike Tyson, got a tiger, realize that you shouldn't have a tiger. Um, there's a lot of places that like allows that, like you can just surrender it, say this was too much for me. I made a mistake. Can you find a house for that? Which I do think is really, really amazing. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if you get in trouble with the law when you do that, but from the way that like this is kind of reading, it sounds like it's you probably don't get in trouble, right? I imagine that if you keep doing it, if like you're like, this is my 19th tiger that after it got over a year old, I returned, I'm sure that you get put into a database somewhere. But I feel like if you
So
have one
what
big
so
animal and you return it, they're probably pretty lenient.
what you were describing though reminds me of people who voted for Trump and then realized, "Oh, I shouldn't have voted for Trump."
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So funny.
And then goodbye to our Trump listeners.
Did we have any?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there were a lot.
Oh,
They
okay.
love us. They love us.
Great. They wouldn't listen to a woman and a gay.
They would not. And Rebecca
No.
was a woman and gay, so
Wow.
she was a double strike. Um, so the last thing is public safety concerns. Like not only like kind of what we were like all we were saying before, the animal gets loose. That's a huge public safety concerns. Illnesses. Sometimes animals can carry certain illnesses. You just like don't own these big pets. They're not, or don't own these big animals as pets. They're not meant to be kept in a small environment. They're not meant to be kept as pets. They are not meant to be fed every day. They are meant to hunt and to, do what
Oh,
they
that's a
are
big
naturally
pet
meant to
peeve of
do.
mine is when people feed wild animals.
Yeah. So now on the other side, let's talk about big cat ownership in Florida, because this is quite different as we saw in the owl, right?
Sure. Yep.
Um, it is possible for a it is possible for a private person to own a
Mhm.
tiger in Florida under certain circumstances. So
What
kind
is
of
a
how they
private person as opposed to a public person?
I think that you would probably like look at it as like a public organization versus a private
Oh, got it.
individual, right? Um
Okay. I'm such a word nerd because never mind. We're gonna lose listeners if I keep
Well, the private
breaking apart
individual, I
words.
think, is that is a like a lawmaker term, right? You're talking about a private
Oh,
individual, as in like somebody that like you can technically have public individuals. There's like a subset of laws that basically says like at one point, like they did a community episode on it where like people can like sell themselves to be public individuals, right? Like Tiger
mm,
King essentially sold themselves to be a public individual as
got
the
it.
Tiger King when he made the documentary.
Okay, cool, cool.
You can like
That's
kind of like
helpful.
you can sell your soul to like Subway and be the Subway guy. So
Mm, okay, now I'm an
so
expert on that. Thanks.
you're welcome. So it's highly regulated. There's a lot of restrictions due to obviously public safety, but the
Hmm.
Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. God, that was hard for me. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission regulates it, similar to the California Wildlife. agency as well. So you can possess them, you can exhibit them, and this is including big cats. You would have to get a permit. You would have to have facilities that allow to basically possess, exhibit, or breed big cats. Um, it's a class one wildlife permit. Individuals who want to own a tiger or other class one wildlife species in Florida must obtain a class one personal pet permit from the FWC. And that allows the possession of this. So I assume that you probably have to jump through like some sort of hoops, proving that you have the space. Like you're probably not going to get, like Jackie Faust living in my apartment is not going to get a wildlife permit, right? Because I live in a apartment. I don't have
Yeah, but you're a
the
sane person. I think those who probably go about these are probably not as sane.
yeah, but I don't think the Florida Commission is going to give you a permit if you live in an apartment, right? Like
Oh,
I'm
got it.
assuming that you have to like prove certain things to get the permit. God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Um so obviously if you're a zoo similar to in California, if you're a zoo, institution, research, education, that is all allowed. Oh, and this is kind of what we were going into before, the zoning and local regulations. In addition to state regulations in Florida, you also have to like consider like what county do you live in? Does that county allow
Mm-hmm.
it? What city do you live in? Are you in a city? Like you can live in a non-incorporated area of a county, which means you don't
Mm-hmm.
have city regulations, you only have the county regulations, right? So
Yeah.
figure out what is allowed. I know in Davis, we where we lived, we were allowed to have up to 10 chickens. Um,
Mm.
because we
It's a
lived in a
lot.
house in a certain part of Davis. In Sacramento Midtown, you cannot have any chickens. So like it does matter if your area is zoned and what animals it's zoned for. And then the next part you have to consider is you're going to have liability insurance. So, my God, my voice is now just totally leaving me. So liability insurance, you're going to have to like, maintain and own that. I'm sure that's quite expensive because your safety of yourself, safety of others who come into your house, so on and so
Hmm.
forth.
Safety of the chickens. Are
So
we
I
still
don't
talking
think
about
you need.
chickens?
No, we're talking about tigers.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thought we were talking about chickens.
I don't think chickens they're really concerned about for liability insurance.
Why? That's what I was. That was I was confused. All those chicken attacks.
Penalties for violations. So if you violate these things, your animal can be taken away. There's fines. I think there's even like at a certain point there's criminal charges.
Mm.
Um, and then just always like public safety concerns, like right, like this is what we talked about at the start of the episode. We'll continue to
Hmm.
beat in like animals are not meant to be kept in these places, right? Like if you have a rehab center or sanctuary that really is for the benefit of the animals, like congratulations, that is amazing. It is so hard to do that nowadays and really benefit the animal. I think there's just so many challenges. Um, so like amazing places that really do take care of animals, but at the same time, don't go get a tiger. You don't need it. You don't.
But I want it.
I know I want it too, but like it, right? If I got a tiger,
Yeah.
they would for sure eat my cats. Be honest.
Those poor
So
cats.
that's all I have to say on, owning exotic animals. Some of the things to consider here in the United States, some of the common ones. What we would own, even some kind of new buzzwords, and then you all got to really listen to Ben correct me 45 times, which was
I know. I hope.
really reminding me of my mother.
Oh, I mean, my mother did this to me all the time, so I'm really just paying it forward.
That's beautiful.
But I
That's
learned a
really
lot. There was a lot of information. Really not surprising, honestly, but um, I'm just surprised that a lot of these animals are considered exotic, like a hedgehog. It's just like I don't mind blowing to me. I think because they're legal. I think, and I think exotic. I guess think of rare. I
Yeah,
guess
and
I don't
maybe
know.
that's like maybe I'm using exotic wrong. Maybe it should be wild animals, right? Like,
Hmm.
like it's more of like wild animals that shouldn't be owned. I think exotic is really just kind of that term interchangeable, but I do think if you are
Hmm.
a word nerd like our little Benny boy, it probably does fester in your little brain,
It
your
does.
big
Now I'm
brain.
not going to sleep at night
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
thinking about it.
My
Um,
AirPod fell out again.
oh my
I'm a
gosh.
hot mess. Well,
This is super interesting.
did you change your mind on what animal you would own?
No, I'd still probably get a fox.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what's
I
so
think I
funny though
could.
is they didn't mention like bobcats or lynxes.
I think those are in the felids.
Oh, that would make sense. I think cheetahs are cute. I would get a pet cheetah.
Yeah, and they're
Although I
not
feel
as
like they're
big.
too bony. I know, but they're too bony. I also love the
You're
fact that
too
they're like,
bony.
thanks. I've been really I've been working out my bones. um, cheetahs are interesting because they like are like they like are like regular cats where they purr and they like
Mhm.
meow. I think it's so
Mhm.
funny.
Just little babies.
I know. Did you know when I
They're
was younger,
so
I wanted to be a zoologist?
Oh, I still wanna be a zoologist or
Oh
a
my god, that'd
marine
be so fun.
biologist, all of
But
it.
then
I love
but
animals.
I know I just don't like spiders or snakes, so that's what deterred me from
I used to have
going
2
into it.
pet snakes when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Well, you're weird.
I my ex-boyfriend and I had we had like 4 different fish tanks, we had cichlids, we had
What's a
hamsters.
cichlid?
Cichlids are like a different type of fish. They're like,
Oh,
I think they're like they need a different type of water and they eat like each other, so you can't put like
is that like
normal
a
other
beta
fish in them.
fish?
No, those are
That's
like
different than a
little.
beta.
These are like really big fish.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Um, then we had a salamander that we found in a Blockbuster box one time, and we kept
You,
that. Yeah, it was like in the
did you keep it in
Blockbuster
the
box.
blockbuster box? Oh my god.
No,
Where did you find the movie? Was it like laying in a swamp?
no, we got it from Blockbuster, and there was
And
a
there was a
salamander.
salamander. Was there a tape in there?
Well, it was DVD, but yeah, and it was The
Oh,
Office, so we named the salamander Steve Carell.
love that. That's really a missed opportunity. Is you should have named him Michael Scott.
We also had many cats, and our last cat just died recently, and that was
Oh, I'm
really
sorry.
sad. I was
Was
like
your
really
house
sad.
really dirty? It
No,
sounds
because
dirty.
um no, I'm a little bit of a neat freak, and then this ex-boyfriend didn't always like work. So he would
Hmm.
like often stay home and like clean, which was great. Like if you're not going to work, fine, at least clean the house.
Yeah, agreed. Well,
I've never
it
really been in
sounds
traditional
dirty.
relationships. No,
Yeah, what's traditional?
I don't like dirty. So,
I don't
speaking of
either.
which, I have to go meet up with the Casa Kid, and then I need
I love
to
that.
clean my house tonight because it's very dirty. That's my big romantic plans for myself.
That sounds like a fun Saturday.
And you're gonna go get drunk. So
Well, I gotta go work out first,
okay, you go work out,
and
you go
there's
drink.
a. I have to go buy a fox. I have a
Yeah,
seller
I
waiting for
think
me.
I think I kind of want a hedgehog. Honestly, I
I
really
love
do.
them. They're so cute. They're
hmm
so cute.
I feel like they could like take my cats. Like my cats are kind of dicks sometimes. So
They'll just
um,
roll up a little ball.
okay, well let's go be experts.
Cool. Great. Thanks, Jackie.
Bye then.
Bye.
Thanks for watching another episode of We're Experts Now. We couldn't do this without you.
If you like this episode and want to support the show, like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And pass along your favorite episodes to your friends, your family, coworkers, random people you meet on the bus, and just about anyone you think might want to be an expert too.
Have ideas for something you want us to investigate? Then send us an email at we'reexpertspod@gmail.com. That's WEREXPERTSPOD@gmail.com.
And don't forget to stay curious.